Welcome to the new portion of the space structure. Today we are going to discuss about the various types of breast domes. Basically, when we discuss about breast domes, then the breast domes are basically frame skeleton type, then truss type, and then press skin type and post surface. In frame type skeleton, we can call it as a single layer dome, and the truss type becomes the double layer, and the stress skin type is like a shell structure, whereupon we have the covering which forms the integral part of the structural system. Here the covering or the upper layer becomes the important part. And again, in last one, the sheets are interconnected in such a way to form the surface. And hence it is called as form surface cut. We are going to discuss this in detail. But about the skin or skeleton type, again, it has 9 different types of domes comes under this particular category. That is rib dome, Schwedler dome, stiff jointed dome, plate type, network, Zimmerman, lamella dome, geodesic dome, and grid dome. Let us see all this type one by one. If we talk about rib dome, then there is a breast type or breast rib dome and solid rib domes are there. And in breast rib domes, there are crack type and worn type. So crack type and worn type are the basic types of truss or the overall use of bracings in it. And crack type and worn type are bracing type. So it has again vertical with vertical member vertical with vertical member radial. In one type we have without vertical member for short span with vertical member radial without vertical hanger member at mid span of lower chord. Now see what this is. As I told you, the track type is N shape truss. So here you found this N shape, repetition of N shape is there, and in one type you would find K type. So it is a K truss. K formation is there, and sometimes the middle bracings is also added to this, and end bracings are also added to this. So this is the basic difference between Vaughan type and Pratt type. And again, while seeing this process, you can also imagine this or see this the compression ring as well as tension ring. Whenever we join two different trusses, there is a compression ring at the bottom and tension ring at the top. And we join this process is okay to the ring because at this point there is a thrust going like this, so there is a compression and hence it is called as compression ring, and it sorry tension ring. And here it is going to compress just because it is fixed here, so it is going to add tension like this, add compression like this, and hence it is called as compression ring. So top ring is compression ring and bottom ring is called as tension ring. Again, we have seen the types of those one type and one type and that type. So let us see all those types. So in one type plus, you would see this vertical member, and hence it is called as vertical member vertical. And this is another type in which you would see this vertical member in a radial direction. these are from radial direction. Then hence it is called as the track type with vertical and vertical member in radial direction. So these are the bracing process in between, and these are the bracings. Again, in one type we have seen the without vertical support, so this would not be there. It would be like this only. It would be like this only. And again, in another portion with vertical member, radial, so that is another type. And in third, this is the lower chord of this rib. So why this is called as rib? Just because it is made out of these ribs. So ribs are nothing but a truss. Okay. And this lower chord without vertical support or without this vertical member. So hence that is the third type, the the lower chord of the rib without verticals. So one type also have three types. First without verticals, second with verticals radial, and third is without vertical at the lower chord. And in that type we have the vertical member vertical and another vertical member radial. So this is the basic diagrams or basic types of the strip domes. So here you can see the curve, here you can see the curve, it is now conical, now it becomes conical. So this becomes the compression ring, and this becomes the tension ring, and this is the compression ring. So at the top there is a compression ring, and these are these rings, sorry, ribs. So this would be like this process. Okay, so that is about the this. Now we are going to see the solid ribs. In solid ribs, you can see the meridional portion. Now these are called as meridional ribs. So another member is added to this, and these are again single members. So if I try to draw a diagram in 3 dimension, then this is like this. So this would be a section, and there will be a meridional portion. So this is meridional portion, and this is the tension ring, and again at the top you would get the compression ring. Now why this is called a solid rib? Just because it is going to meet or it is going to join at this meridional portion, and hence it is called a solid rib. It gives a solid portion over this. So that's why it is called a solid rib. Let us recap the basic difference or the classification of rib dome. So rib dome have braced ribs and solid ribs. In braced rib we have Pratt type and Vaughan type. In Pratt type we have vertical member radial. In Vaughan type we have without vertical member, second with vertical member, and third with vertical member radial, and in third the without vertical member at lower chord. Next is Spedler Dome. Now, what is Spedler Dome? Spedler Dome, again, Spedler is the name of the inventor of this dome. So, hence it is called as Spedler Dome. In Spedler Dome, you would find the ribs, meridional ribs, as well as the bracings. So, diagonal bracings are there, which connects those meridional ribs and adds stiffness or adds the strength to this particular dome. So, in rib dome, we won't have the bracings. Here we find the bracings. And here A, B, C. This A, B, and C are different apex level or variation in apex level. So we can see in this diagram, so there are variation in apex level. So this will be extend to this, then again there will be extension to this, and then there will be an extension to this. So this is going to attach or meet at the compression ring. Now what is happening here? You can see this ray directly joining. Here we have different for different portion, and here we can see the only half portion is joined like this. So these are the variations available. Now see its type. So these are the basic types of Schwedler dome. In Schwedler dome you can have this type also, with this kind of meridional or diagonal ring or diagonal bracings. This is there, this is there. Now it is very difficult to draw, but when you get understand or realize this how it is going to join, then you can draw it very well. So you have to draw this. First you have to understand how this going is going to meet. So you can draw the half portion only. So you have to draw this half portion for each truss or each type. So in A and B they are similar, but at B you would find the points meeting at the compression ring. Here the length of or the size of the compression ring is much more higher than this. So these are the basic differences between A and B. And at C, the again the apex level detail is changed. So you can see this type of portion here. So basically the basic module is this, and here there are changes. Again the D is combination of this and this. So first of all you have to understand this how it is going to join. So here I would try to make you understand. So these are the lines which are joining. Then we have bracings like this, 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 this. Again we will join this, join this. Again we will try to draw this. Here I am going to provide this line, and this, and midriff. So likewise you have to draw for each line. Here also like this. Here also it is like this. Here also it is like this. So once you understand this, then it becomes easy. Otherwise it is very difficult to draw or understand. Again here you have to draw the parts first. So I will draw its parts first. We'll try to make the petals first. These are basic petals of this. As soon as I identify these petals, then it is very easy to me to provide this bracing. Now I will provide this bracing, and this becomes the combination of these two. Once you have identified this, here we will try to again this line here and here. See what is happening here. You have this much gap, but here you have a smaller gap. So this is going to, so this is going to overlap over this. So how you can draw this smaller part? This way, then this. So I got this bottom portion. Now this is remaining. So I'm going to have this. This. So I would get this. First I draw this and then this. Now what about this? So again this is going to join like this. That's how I would get this total. Okay. I don't think now it is very difficult for you to draw this. And these are the basic assembly. This is welded spider crown connector. So when you have very close connection, then you go for this. And here you have slot in which you just add a pin or nut and bolt. So it is going to fix like this. And these are the bracings. Tube welded clit is there, and these are the basins. Now stiff jointed frame dome. Now this is also called as stiff Schwedler dome also, because the basic geometry is like Schwedler dome only. Instead of bracing, what we are doing, we are welding this joints, and it is become stiff because of welding, and hence it is called as stiff jointed dome. Now stiff jointed dome is also called as rigid Schwedler dome, or uh, stiff jointed Schwedler dome also. So these are the stiff joints. And again, here going to join. So this is about stiff jointed dome. Now plate type dome. In plate type dome, what is happening? The upper portion, or in this portion, what is happening? The ribs are going to join like this, and it is going to cover the square shape. So this dome is meant to cover the square planform. Basically, whenever we go for domical shapes or dome structure, the restriction with it is you require a circular planform. But when you want to cover a square form planform, then you go for plate type dome. In plate type dome, what happens? The outer profile or the elevation you would get in a dome or curve, but the plan is in square only. So these are the square plans, but with the uh, curve or domical elevation. Then network dome. In network dome, every above portion is tilting with an angle, and that angle is derived by the formula, that is n by pi. N is equal to the angle is equal to pi by n. Now n is the number of sides. These are the number of slides. So this is called as n. Now in upper portion, or above ring, the this number of slides are going to uh, this number of slides are going to be reduced by 1. So if at the bottom it is say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. So at the bottom it is 7, then at the upper portion it would be 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So at the upper portion it would be 6. Let us count again. Let us try to understand this. At the bottom it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 7 numbers are there, and the above ring. So what happens is, the bottom ring, or the bottom ring, if you divide this bottom ring and you get a mid portion of this, so the upper point or upper corner is going to be there at the mid portion, or at the mid portion or mid span of the bottom ring, and hence the upper portion or upper sides are going to reduce. So we have measured this, that was 7. So here 1, this is 2, this is 3, this one is 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, we are going to tilt by the angle uh, by number of sides. So hence, because of that angle twist, the uh, the upper ring is going to be at the mid, or the corners of the upper ring is going to be at the mid portion of the bottom ring. And here we can see, so this corner is at this midpoint, this corner is at this midpoint, and this corner is at this midpoint, and this corner is at this midpoint. And likewise the upper portion or upper corner is also like this. So this is here, and this is here at this midpoint. Here also we can see this is at this midpoint. So you have to just draw this uh, kind of figures at alternate time, and then you just select the midpoints and draw it. Likewise you get this overall diagram. So this will look like this in elevation. This is also the another type of this truss or this dome. Then again Zimmerman dome. Now this Zimmerman dome is made for the height or vertical elevation. When you have a high structure, or high, when you have a dome over walls which are high, then there will be extra pressure, or there will be a air pressure which is acting over the dome, and in that case there are chances of failure in terms of dome. So to reduce that failure, or to reduce or come across by the whole failure, the Zimmerman has derived another type of dome, or invented dome, with a pin and the flexible or ball bearing joint, movable joints. So at the edge portion there are fixed joints, and at the middle portion there are movable joints. So this overall assembly is with the pin and hinge joints and the movable joints. So movable joints allow movement, and as soon as the pressure increase, then movable joint try to move and try to reduce the under pressure. Because if all the joints are stiff and fixed, then it becomes very difficult to again it becomes very difficult to counter that forces. So to come across or to counter that forces, the joints should be movable. Otherwise, it will be collapse, or the structure will be deformed. So to maintain its form, it is important to provide movable joints. And these Zimmerman's dome are used for the heighted walls. Then there is a lamella dome. In lamella dome, there are curvilinear lamella and parallel lamella. So these are the curvilinear lamella system, and this is parallel lamella system. Here you can see the parallel lines like going like this, and here these are curvilinear lines. The basic characteristics, or the variety, or say the interesting point in this lamella dome is these lines are in curve in two different angles. Matlab, it is in curve horizontally as well as vertically. So vertically, if I if I have this as a tension ring, and here I have compression ring, then the point A, which is somewhere here, is going to down like this. So I would get this. So here, if I see in plan, the line will be in curve, and if I see in elevation, then again the line will be in curve, because it is like this also. So here there will be a curve, as well as here there will be a curve. So you would get to see this in curve, as well as from bottom there will be a curve. So When we join all these lines, then we get a dome. Hence, this line will be on in curve. So we have to think like that, how this particular portion will be in curve. Here also, these are the petals, so this line will be in curve, so horizontally as well as vertically. So the parallel lamella system is there, whereupon you have straight lines and then parallel lines attaching to it. Then again, these are the parallel lines and the curvilinear lamella. So this is the example of curvilinear lamella. You have to draw all these figures. Then the geodesic dome, again known one. The geodesic dome is basically the exploded octahedron or hexahedron on the spherical shape. When you have this kind of geometry and you explode this geometry on spherical shape to get a pure curve, then this will happen. So would get this kind of shape which is in curve. Here it is in triangular geometry, but here it becomes the curve. And here are the frequencies or increase in number of the, because those pipe would not be bent like this, and if you bend this, then there will be a chances of breakage. So what happens, the pipes are joined like this, so there are joints. So if I want to get curve, then what I would do, I will join this line like this, so there will be a joint. As soon as you increase the frequency, there will be more smooth curve. So these are the basic frequency is triangular, then the two frequency, so first and second, then four frequency, one, two, three, and four, and this is eight, one, two, five, six, seven, and eight, and this is 16. So that's how you get this. And again, when you join this, you get this at the apex level or on the joining level. So these are the frequencies which are present over here. So you can have this kind of shape, and then this is a joinery. So whenever there is hexagon joined with the pentagon, so here are these pentagonal structures and the hexagons are joining this. Now, how this frequency is going to be achieved? So this frequency is like this time, this time. So this is like this. So this is one frequency. When you join this hexagon, you get this of the frequency. So here you can add them. So this is the basic geometry, whereupon you have the frequency one. Okay, and this is the known kind of structure, the basic octahedron or the basic geodesic dome. So these are the frequencies, and this is grid type dome. You can see the grid, and this is going to be like this. So this is the basic type of dome, grid type dome. And again, the we have seen the single layer domes, and this is double layer dome or truss type dome, in which we are going to see this. So flexible rods are fixed to the struts. This is basic frequency or basic shape, and these are double layered by using this flexible rod. Or again, this shape is also flexible by using this cable, and you would get overall structure like this. So this is lamella, or we can say the double layer lamella. So here is the top layer, and this line is represent the bottom layer. And again, meanwhile, it is joined by these cables. The cables are in there to reduce the forces. Otherwise, it will be difficult to join these two layers in a single plane. So cables reduce the pressure over that structure. So that was about the dome and its type. If you have doubts, queries, then you can